Coming up on today's show, we're going to be breaking down a position change that we talked about might happen yesterday. I actually missed the report. Jah-Marien Latham announced yesterday that he was going to be returning to Tuscaloosa for the 2025 season. So he's actually going to be changing from that Bandit position. We'll talk about that on today's show, as well as some recruiting news. Kaylen DeBoer and this Alabama coaching staff getting on the road now, talking to some 2026 and 2027 recruits out there. So make sure you do not miss out on any Alabama football news out there. You know, it's now that the season's over, things are starting to wind down a little bit, but recruiting is now starting to pick up a little bit more now. So make sure you do not miss out. Make sure you guys hit that sub button for me right now. All right, as we mentioned on yesterday's video, Jah-Marien Latham is returning for the 2025 season with the Crimson Tide. This season, he played mainly at that Bandit position, which is, basically the defensive end position. But after that Oklahoma game, Quandarius Robinson got hurt. He started playing a little bit more of that Wolf position. And, we talked about yesterday on yesterday's show that I was a little bit worried about the backlog at that Bandit position because I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited about a guy like Keon Keeley, and I did not want him to, possibly hit the transfer portal because he's got just too many options in front of him at that Bandit position. So, it was actually reported yesterday. I actually missed it. But Jah-Marien Latham is indeed going to be switching over from that Bandit position to that Wolf position. I think this could be a really good fit for Jah-Marien Latham. This year he was a little bit bigger. On3 also reporting that the focus for him in this offseason is to lose a little bit of weight, about 15 to 20 pounds, get a little bit lighter on his feet, a little bit faster off the line of scrimmage. But I thought he was pretty decent for you this year at that Bandit spot. Could have been a little bit better, but the pressures, he got back there and really caused some havoc at times on the quarterback. Also recorded 15 stops according to Pro Football Focus. That's basically, tackles at the line of scrimmage or, 1 or 2 yards downfield, something like that. Just not a good play for the offense. So, with the lack of depth right now at that or along the defensive line, especially at that Wolf position, there's not really a lack of depth at that spot, but I do think Jah-Marien Latham is going to play a pretty big role for Alabama next season. So let me know here at the pinned comment of today's video. Do you guys like the move of Jah-Marien Latham from Bandit to that Wolf position? Type Y for yes or N for no at the pinned comment of today's video. That ad's going to play here on YouTube. That's totally fine. You guys can ignore it. Get down there and let me know, do you like this position change for Jah-Marien Latham? All right, this is what Kane Wommack, Alabama's defensive coordinator, said about Jah-Marien Latham playing that Wolf position because he's kind of started playing that Wolf position during that Oklahoma game after Quandarius Robinson was injured. I believe it was the week before that game. He said, I thought Jah-Marien being able to move over to the Wolf in 1 week based off some of the injuries that we have, Deontae being a little bit banged up, did a great job in the week of practice and played pretty well in the game. There are some similarities in the Bandit and Wolf positions, but there are also some staunch differences. I thought he did a really nice job of making those adjustments throughout the week and then really was fairly consistent in his execution on game days. Very proud of him and appreciate him doing that. Now, this right here is what Alabama's linebacker depth chart is going to look like. We put the Wolf position on there because it's kind of that outside linebacker position, right? I really like what you have coming back at that middle linebacker spot. Justin Jefferson, Deontae Lawson, we'll see how long it takes him to get back from that leg injury. And then you also got Nikhai Hill-Green from Colorado out of the transfer portal. Really excited about how he can fit as that third linebacker, maybe even the second linebacker if Deontae Lawson isn't available to go at the beginning of the season. But then at that Wolf spot, you've got Quandarius Robinson. I really like what Yhonzae Pierre can bring to the table as well. He played, sporadically this year at that spot for Alabama, and I thought the outlook for him looked really, really nice. Now you are also adding in Jah-Marien Latham. You've also got got guys like Justin Hill, Kevonte Henry, that you got in that 2025 recruiting class as well. We'll see what, Noah Carter's role is going to look like. I think they also like him at that Wolf position as well. But when it comes to that middle linebacker spot, your backups are Cayden Jones, QB Reese, and then you got freshmen after that. So while I like what you have coming back at that Wolf position, still a little bit nervous about the depth at that middle linebacker spot. Today's show is presented by Game Time. NFL playoffs are starting here just in a couple of days. College football playoffs are well underway now. No, Alabama's not in it, but you guys can definitely go to an NFL playoff game, and you can get those tickets very cheap with Game Time. Game Time has a new feature now called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see live events even easier, whether that's football games, basketball games, concerts, comedy, theater. They have absolutely everything on Game Time. Hopefully here in a couple of months, I'm going to Nashville to see a comedy show, and I'm going to get my tickets on Game Time if I can afford to do that here in a couple of months. The Game Time Picks filter, it's super easy. It just filters out all the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to the start of the event. So last minute, if you want to go see Martin Lawrence in Birmingham, if you want to go to the Senior Bowl, if you want to catch an Alabama basketball game, you can do that last minute on Game Time. One of my favorite features as well is the all-in pricing feature. You toggle this feature on and it shows you the total up front. So there are no surprise fees at checkout. And like I said, they also have the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time will actually credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. That link's in the comment section and the description of today's video. So download Game Time today. They have the last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. All right, next up on today's show, we're going to just kind of break down a little bit some of these top 2026 in-state prospects that Alabama could or could not be going after. We're just going to break down the top 10 guys here in the state of Alabama right now because I know a lot of you guys were very mad, I guess maybe is the best way to put it, about the lack of in-state targets that Alabama went after and indeed got in that 2025 class. Auburn landed 8 out of the top 10 players in that 2025 class out of the state of Alabama. Alabama got 1 out of the top 25. So we're going to break that down here on today's video. First up, the number 1 player in the state of Alabama is Anthony Jones out of St. Paul's in Mobile. Kayla Nabor and staff went to his school, visited him on Tuesday in person. Very, very good player, an explosive player, one of the top edge rushers in the country right now, number 11 player overall. So he is indeed a 5-star, or, at least he's going to be a 5-star once they really start putting in those rankings like that. So right now, Tom Loy of 247 Sports actually has him predicted to Auburn, but look, there's a long time before that decision ever, will get made. And even if it does get made, there's still a long time before he has to actually put pen to paper. Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Miami, Oregon, and Texas A&M, all top teams for him. The number 2 player in the state of Alabama, Sedarian Morgan, out of Benjamin Russell, out of Alexander City. He's a number 43 player overall, number 7 wide receiver. Alabama, Auburn, kind of 50-50 right now. Those are definitely 2 top teams for him. 6'4", 210 pounds. So Kayla Nabor really does like recruiting some of these bigger body wide receivers. He is definitely somebody to keep an eye on, and he has already made visits as well to Alabama. Hezekiah, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Harris. I'm sorry if I absolutely butchered it. You guys should know by now, if you watch enough of our videos, I am terrible with names, so I'm sorry about that. He's the number 58 player overall, number 7 edge as well. As of right now, he is committed to Auburn, sitting at 6'5", 220 pounds, so a very, very big kid. Alabama's one and only commit right now in the 2026 recruiting class, the number 4 player, Zion Gibson. number 7 cornerback in the country right now, another top 100 player. He committed back on Christmas Eve. Really like what this kid can bring to the table. Kayden DeBoer and staff were also at his high school in Gadsden City on Tuesday as well. And then Shadarius Tootle, number 75 overall, number 5 linebacker. He is also committed to to Auburn. So out of the top 5 players right there, 2 of them already committed to Auburn. Going over to number 6 now, Jaquez Wilkes, number 101 overall in the country, number 10 edge. He's sitting at 6'4", 220 pounds, so already a very, very big dude at that edge position. He's out of Wadley High School. And then number 7, Vodney Cleveland. He was a guy that was committed right before, all that Jalen Ibakwe stuff was kind of going on. In the same day that Jalen Ibakwe announced that he was coming back, Vodney Cleveland ended up decommitting from Alabama, but he is one of the better defensive linemen right now, and man, he is very, very explosive. He's a really, really big kid as well. 6'3", 305 pounds. Like I said, he was committed to Alabama. I would love to get him in this recruiting class because there is a massive need, I think, in this 2026 class at that defensive line. Number 8, Jamichael Garrett. He is also an Auburn commit right now. So that's 3 out of the top 10 already committed to Auburn. But like I said, don't freak out. There's still a long way to go in this 2026 cycle. Number 9, Landon Duckworth. He's the number 9 quarterback in the country right now out of Jackson. And then number 10, you have Marquez Daniels. He's sitting at number 158 overall, the number 24 wide receiver in this 2026 recruiting class. He's also another bigger body guy, 6'5", 195 pounds. So definitely another target, I think, that, Kayden DeBoer in this staff could possibly go after because, like I said, they love those bigger body guys in this Kayden DeBoer offense. What is your confidence level in Alabama recruiting top in-state talent right now? Like I said, they only got 1 guy in the top 25, make it 2 in the top 26 with Mal Waldrop added in there as well. But Auburn absolutely dominated the top 10 players in-state in that 2025 cycle. So scale your confidence level 1 to 10 in the comment section for me right now. The staff was also visiting Gunnar Rivers, one of the many kids right now of Phillip Rivers. Of course, he is, the head coach right now at St. Michael's Catholic in Fairhope, Alabama, down there in the South. He's a 2027 recruit, but man, this kid is really, really good. One of my best friends out of high school is actually on staff with them as well, and he just sings a lot of praises for this kid. Whether or not Alabama gets him or not, wherever he goes, he's going to be, I think, a very, very good player in the future. Obviously, Phillip Rivers is his father, so a very good football background right now. He's a 5-star recruit in that 2027 class. We'll see kind of, where that goes. Number 33 overall, one of the top players in the state of Alabama as well. And then you have the number 1 running back in the 2027 class. Alabama also visited him as well. Xavier Crowell, I believe is how it is actually. He's a 2027 guy, another 5-star recruit. He's the number 7 player overall, the number 1 player in the state of Alabama, and the number 1 running back in the country. 5'11", 205 pounds, so kind of a shorter guy, but definitely a bowling ball guy. You see right there, won the state championship this year. Kayden DeBoer and that staff. We're also visiting him on Tuesday. As of right now, Stephen Leonard, like I said, he's 2027 guy, so a long, long way away. But Stephen Leonard of 247 Sports, he's a UCF insider. He has him predicted to UCF, but this kid's going to get a lot of notoriety, being the number 1 running back in that recruiting class. So, we'll see what happens with him. Like I said, he's a long, long way away. But, today as well, before we get out of here, I'll make this note. The staff was in Nashville visiting guys and recruiting guys as well. So we'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you are subscribed.